Standing inside with my mouth open wide. If all the raindrops were what is that part? If all the raindrops were candy canes and gumdrops. If
I don't even know
all
what
the
song
raindrops, y'all don't know this song?
No.
Y'all never watched Barney?
I watched Barney.
What
I
the
don't
hell
know
is
this
wrong with
song.
y'all? That was a big part of the freaking show. That song. Standing inside with my, come on, man. What about Hey, Mr. Knickerbocker Boppity Bop? I like, that one?
What?
You don't know that song? I like it the
Bro,
way that you
I watched
boppity
Barney,
bop
and
with your hands.
I swear this wasn't in Barney.
No, bro, these are like classic Barney songs.
All I remember is Barney, and then
Hey,
the
Mr.
green one with
Knickerbocker
the
Boppity
shoes with the
Bop.
sneaks
I like it
on.
the way that you boppity. You don't know any of the songs.
Who's
You suck.
who's the one that's green with the sneakers?
BJ.
Yeah, he's cool. He's
You don't
cool.
know shit, bro.
And then there's like a yellow one, right? And she's like the chick or
Baby
something.
Bop.
Yo, so how come all the yellow ones got to be the chick? The Baby Bop, the Yellow Ranger. Why they all chicks, man?
I don't know, but I do think yellow is the most inferior color of all colors. What do you think about that?
So it's got to be for women.
I think yellow is the worst color, and I proved it today because somebody was buying headphones, and I was talking to them. They were like, "Oh, the yellow ones are $10 less," and I said, "Yes, because that is the most inferior color. The gray ones were 50, black was 50, blue was 50, yellow 40 because inferior color."
In my opinion, that would make it a better color because it's cheaper.
Well, I'm saying, they priced it higher because people would want the other ones more, so they know they're going to pay the price because people want that color. You understand?
Well,
do you understand? Do you understand that it is daylight savings time? Do you know that? Dick, does it affect your body? Does it affect your body, Dick?
I don't know. Usually when we go in the fall, that usually I feel really tired afterwards.
Oh, you feel really tired? You're one of these guys?
Yeah, it affects me more. But in the spring, I'm happy for the extra light.
You're one of these guys. Oh, everybody's walking around now. Oh, my life is over. My life is ruined. The daylight savings. I'm like, is it really that freaking crazy?
Well, I think you're overstating what I just said.
No, not you. I'm saying that I've heard this today. That people were complaining that their life was ruined, how horrific it is, that they lost an hour, blah, blah, blah. Is it really that? I've never felt it in my life. I've never felt daylight savings time ever in my life. Have you, EJ? Have you felt the effects of this?
I mean, to be fair, if no one ever told me, I wouldn't even know it was happening.
That's what I'm saying. But you know what? You know why I think we don't feel it is because we never have a sleep cycle anyway. We never have a normal sleep schedule. I think these are for people that have rigid sleep schedules. They have to wake up at 8.
For the working man, it affects them.
Well, you know what I mean, but it doesn't matter what I'm doing. I'll go to work at 2 hours of sleep my whole life. I've always done that. It doesn't bother. I never have a consistent sleep schedule.
Well, I work 10-hour days, so throughout the winter, I've been coming in when the sun's been out and leaving when the sun is down. Today, when I went to my car, the sun was still setting.
It's all about the sun, man. As long as the sun's out, I'm like, oh, cool. Look at it. There's still a little bit of light.
You felt good. Well, I believe it is the Senate that passed the bill to end this whole daylight savings time crap. And then I think it has to go to Congress, or maybe the other way around. I don't know. I don't know anything about checks and balances and all that crap. One of those big wigs is passed the bill, and the other big wig got to pass the bill. And I'm for it because Benjamin Franklin woke up one day and said, "I don't want to lose an hour. We have to put the clocks back 1 hour." Now everybody's complaining for the last 15 years that the clocks went back. Now we're all depressed. Now we're all tired. So what? We lose 1 hour of sunlight. Now we got to turn the freaking clocks back and ruin everybody's life? I think it's time that we end this, and that is evident because I think it's Arizona and Hawaii ended it. They were like, we're not playing this game. We're not falling for this charade. You wake up and you go, oh, sun's not up yet. What are you going to do? Shoot yourself? Who cares? You go out when it's a little darker. You come back when it's a little lighter. Is it that big of a deal? No, because Benjamin Franklin, I don't want to, my sleep schedule is inappropriate right now. So now all because of that, we gotta
a
we gotta deal with this.
well-educated chaplain that we all know
Yeah.
said that apparently, if we go back to the way things were, we're likely to have a lot more car accidents.
Now you know you're retarded.
The hell is that supposed to mean?
I don't know. It's something you read.
I think over time the Earth's rotation slows and we gain more time. So who really gives a shit about 1 hour? We'll all get it all back in the grand scheme.
You're right. You know that in the grand scheme of things, EJ, does it really matter that people need to have discomfort because of this? That they need their time, that they need their time moved back because the sun and all, like, it's just, it doesn't seem. Arizona and Hawaii are doing just fine. Okay, they haven't imploded yet because their clocks don't go back and forward. It's ridiculous.
I think that's why the fires happen, is because they didn't turn their clocks back in Hawaii.
It's Mother Nature punishing them.
Mm-hmm. The Earth is like, bitch. We said you losing an hour today.
I think that is a highly inappropriate take on that. That is
that's why I'm here.
That is insane.
I remember when I was a kid and going to elementary school, that when the fall would come and it would be dark when we would get up to get ready, I always thought that was pretty cool.
I like that. I'm a fan of that too. You start the day in the dark.
As somebody that lived in Staten Island and went to school in the Bronx, every time I got up for school, it was dark.
Is that true? Oh yeah, because you had to get up at the ass crack of dawn anyway.
At like 4 and got on the bus at like 5:30.
Didn't matter to you.
And then eventually I was like, fuck this. I'm just going to take the boat in.
You just took the ferry in?
So I actually got to get up when the sun got up and all that. It was nice.
There you go. I hope they pass this bill so we can have enough of this. So the conversation could be over already with people going crazy.
Oh, if they change it, there's gonna be a 10-year conversation about it.
About why? What would be wrong about that?
Oh, remember when? Blah 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 blah.
I actually hot take. I actually loved it. I liked it that way.
You already know the presidential candidates are going to be talking about it.
And I'll bring back daylight savings time. Oh God, you don't get my vote. I can't even vote, but I wouldn't vote I wouldn't even vote. Listen to this, right? So I think Clay put me onto this. We talk about some hijinks and shenanigans going on in China every once in a while. Well, we got another one, okay? So we talk about there's a big influx of female streamers, especially in China. We showed the streaming factory before, where they just like lines and lines and rows of women, showing
just
off radios.
Of streamers.
Yeah, showing off. And some of them are on a bridge. They'll just be under a bridge, like the homeless encampment in freaking LA. They'll just be under a bridge with all these iPhones and ring lights. It's a very dystopian view of the social media things going on in China. But now I see that it's not. A lot of the women that you are watching in China may not actually be women, because there are a bunch of men that are using high-tech, top-of-the-line face filters and even like prosthetics and wigs to appear as women.
Hello, 欢迎直播间的哥哥们，欢迎大家。
This is a man. But his followers had no idea. Using a beauty filter, he became a popular female live streamer. He slipped up and forgot to turn on his beauty filter.
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine?
No, it's real.
Can you imagine these people? Some of these people are like chronically online, that all they do is watch their favorite woman streamer. And then one fateful day, you see that 5 o'clock shadow come out because the face filter slipped off. And this guy jerked off to that like 40 times already. So now, what do you even freaking do, bro? What do you do if that... how insane is it? Leave it to China to do this.
To say what my response, like what I would say to these people. My response is not YouTube friendly.
Why don't you say it? We'll bleep it out if it's crazy.
Unalive yourself in Minecraft.
You telling the people that are pulling this trick?
I'm telling the people that are pulling their strings. The people that are pulling their strings.
Oh, the people jerking off to this content, but you jerk off to VTubers.
I do not. How
You
dare
like to
you?
go
What's wrong
on.
with
You jerk off to VTubers all the time. You
You
told
need to
me.
relax yourself.
You're-
Where these allegations coming
That's
from?
what I heard. That's what I heard.
From who?
I heard from
who?
you. I heard from you.
From
so,
me.
Of course, this is going on in China. I'm not saying I wouldn't do it though. I'm not saying if I wasn't over there or even right now.
If it makes me money, then hey, do it. But
yeah, I mean, like,
don't slip up. Don't slip up though.
I'm not saying I'm looking into it, but I might have looked into it.
Bro, you got an iPhone and a computer. Just be a VTuber. All you got to do is get the voice changer. You'll be fine.
You know how much money these dudes are making doing it? I saw one of them have like a prosthetic on his face where at the end of his stream he ripped it off. That's a man, baby.
Full mask off moment.
Yeah, like white chicks, like had the prosthetics on and everything. Make it bank. I'm with it. You're like, that's an insane scam. And I kind of commend it. It's not it's not the worst scam you could do. Not like you're still.
Is it a scam? I mean, they're playing a character.
I mean, it's a scam if they don't say that they're really a man. You're saying it's a gray area. You're saying
it's at least false advertising.
It's false advertising. EJ, thank you. You know what these guys are looking for. You know they're not looking for a guy in makeup. You know they're looking for a real Chinese woman. But I'm saying props to them for this. This is some smart. This is really taking advantage of technology doing this. But this should show you how scary filters are. I mean, there are I think they do a lot of the scams too with like dating apps in China and probably here in other countries too, where they'll go on dating apps and basically fish guys and get a bunch of money out of them because they think they're talking to a woman. Like this is gonna become way more prevalent as time goes on because of how insane technology is getting. Like I'm sure we can find a filter right now that if we threw on Eddie, his beard goes away, everything goes away, and he's a hot chick. I'm freaking.
Well, maybe you could just do a beauty filter with Eddie, and he could be like a bearded woman.
Some people may be into that,
and guys that are into that will pay a little more.
Yeah, you could be a fetish
to do less work.
You could be a fetish. That'll be great. No. And some people have a smoking fetish. You can smoke on camera, show your feet. You'll be
I'll be a smoking bearded lady.
Yeah. Go on Chatterbait.
What do you want?
Yeah. You can throw food on yourself.
Oh yeah, people would love that. People would love that deranged shit. That'll be great.
There's like a man named John Waters.
Yeah,
from Baltimore. He made movies and art.
Yeah, he was in Chucky and everything.
He was on Johnny Carson years ago, and he brought on this porn magazine named Sploosh.
Oh boy!
And it's adult people who were in high chairs, and tables dressed like babies, and people would throw food on them.
Oh my god! And people pleasure themselves in material like that.
Yeah. And he's like showing Johnny Carson. And Johnny Carson's like looking at him like
that's got to be a bit. There's no way that's real. Actually, I'll believe anything. No. I'll believe anything. If you got people out there doing puppy play in public and all this stuff, I can believe it. I'm sure there's a market for it.
What is that?
Puppy play is where like guys, mostly guys, they put on like these. Like kind of like dominatrix-y looking puppy masks, and then they have an owner, and they basically act like a puppy. They're like, they walk on all fours.
Nobody gonna put me on a leash.
And they got a leash.
I'm a stray dog, all right.
They're like, stay, boy, stay, and then they get all turned on by that, and they get all excited. It's out of control. I thought you've seen that.
They do that in public.
Yeah, there was videos of them walking around in public like that. There's videos of. There's like a famous one of this guy. It looks like he's like at a diner with his puppy mask on, and he's eating like French toast or something. And people are just like, "Why are you bringing your kinks into public? Like this is deranged." Which, if I'm bringing my family to IHOP, I don't want to see puppy play. Right now, myself, sure, I would watch that fine, but not if I'm bringing my family.
How is this?
Oh my god, that would be hilarious.
Was he like over the bowl? Like was it a dog?
They didn't show him eating
like a dog.
Was he eating like a regular human being?
They didn't show him eating, but they showed him kind of just hovering over his plate excitedly, like like really excited
Oh
about
Lord.
it. It is out of control. People are
Cringe.
being walked on
Cringe.
leashes all the time in public now. It's wild.
So it made sense back in the day when kids were on leashes because they're literally animals.
Right.
But
You're saying like the kids that go to where they go to
a
amusement
kink?
parks. When they go to amusement parks, they got the kid on like a rope to keep them in line.
just like calm down, Chuck.
I mean, a relative of mine when he was growing up. I mean that was my aunt's only salvation to make sure he wasn't running down the street
A
into
damn rope.
traffic.
We need to get EJ on a rope now so we keep track of him. After you fell asleep before
do
past the show.
you guys think that those kids that got put on leashes are the people that like puppy play now?
No,
Is there a
I don't think so.
correlation?
Well, they weren't
No.
getting treated like dogs. They just had a rope attached to them.
That's pretty much a dog.
The
I
parents
mean.
weren't putting them like on all fours and making them eat out of a bowl.
Right.
No, but they're just
And they
like,
weren't-
whoa.
They weren't getting petted
Reel
like
it in there, kiddo. Come back.
no, and the leash isn't around their neck either. It's like on their back. It's like a harness. You're not getting roped from your freaking neck. You're not on.
Yeah.
I don't think the two correlate. You could talk to a therapist about that, and maybe they can find the correlation for you.
What do you mean a therapist? I'm gonna have to talk to
they'll
one
have
of these freaks.
They'll have more expertise in that department than us. We can't dive into the subconscious of people. We gotta dig into our own crap. We don't know. But yeah, it's a very scary world. All that's going on. More scary news. I read this just yesterday. They were doing some research on placentas. You know what a placenta is, EJ?
Yeah.
A little piece for the baby? Okay. Well, out of all, I think they did a study on let's say 60 placentas, and on every single one of them, they found microplastics inside of the placenta. Okay, so there are microplastics all over our freaking bodies right now, and now it's just being transferred right to the baby. They don't even need to drink the water or eat McDonald's or eat out of a Chinese container. Nope, they come right out of the oven with the microplastics already in them. I mean, just easy pass right to the microplastic. How scary of a thought is that? We cannot escape microplastics at this point, I don't think.
How bad was it when we were growing up? I mean,
well, we didn't know anything about it. But I'm sure the stuff we were doing was putting the microplastics in us already, but we're just becoming conscious of that stuff. Like they talked about, there's microplastics in the water. If you want to get it out, you got to boil it now. And it's like, what does it get released through the steam? How does the microplastics get boiled out?
I don't know. Unless
that doesn't seem like that's possible.
At least it turns into a gas.
And that's the only way I could think of is it releases through the steam.
Either that, you gotta strain out little pieces.
It's two headlines that I found incredibly disturbing this week with those two: the boiling of the microplastics and the microplastics being in the placenta. It's inescapable at this point.
In all of them, not one. So
No.
there wasn't one that was good.
There wasn't one
happen.
fresh one because it's in every area now. Probably we can't escape it.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, say there was a gigantic volcano eruption, which some people believe there was a huge volcano eruption in the United States, which caused the Dark Ages. And so, what if your scientists went back in time at that time and they found ash in the placenta, like microscopic ash?
Right.
Our bodies probably have absorbed tons of things from the environment.
Right.
And I mean, at this point, is this something that we really worry about? Because we now know that we're awash in plastic, and it's going to adversely affect some people and not affect others.
Well, I think the theory, especially with the forever chemicals, is that it affects your hormones. That's what they say when it comes to the the pots, the nonstick pots and pans.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That the forever chemicals on those and the forever chemicals in the air fryers affect your hormones. So you don't even know. You might be acting crazy. I mean, and then the evolution of this, because we don't know what the next 5 generations are gonna look like. They're gonna look like Barbie and Ken. Everybody's gonna be made. We're gonna be made of plastic. We're gonna come out plastic organs, and then it's in the water now, so we're gonna look like we're in Barbie's dream house too. Everything's gonna be encased in plastic.
Minecraft.
We're gonna look like we're in Barbie land. We're gonna be in freaking Barbie land, dude. How scary is that?
I'll be dead by then, so it's fine by me.
Eventually, these Asians that won't need a beauty filter, they'll just be able to mold their face.
Right?
They just heat up their faces.
Or not to pick on the Asians, but everybody will, and we'll
all be there.
Face filters out of business,
as the study says. Every placenta, so everybody's in line for their dose of microplastics, and it's just gonna. I mean, is there any way to circumvent this by now, or we're screwed?
How do you do that?
That's what I'm saying. It's too ingrained in our. But let me ask you this, Dick, because I was talking to somebody about this. Let me
before you ask this. Okay. How many empty plastic bottles is in your apartment right
Thousands.
now?
Snapple?
Thousands. You don't even want to know. You don't even want to know how many water bottles.
Right here. Right. There's microplastic in this cup from this Snapple.
Yeah. So answer your own question.
Well, here's my question to you, right?
Okay.
So we have like a very advanced society, right? Like let's just say any third world country, right? Is it even possible to run such a high societal third world country where everybody has access to like all these things, where everything's being packaged?
You mean first?
Where everything's being first world country. My bad. First world country. Rich didn't even.
We're America.
No, I was waiting for until you were going to stop.
Oh, okay. First world country. Sorry. Is it possible to run such a high class, like well-oiled machine of a first world country where everybody has access to all this stuff? The food chain and the way we run our cars, the way we get rid of all our chemicals. Like we produce so much waste. Is it possible to run a first world country without creating such waste?
Probably not.
No, right? Like all the electricity we use, all the plastic we're going to need, all the gas we're going to need. We would have to give up our lifestyle in order to.
I mean, what's the alternative to plastic? Paper, and then we're going to kill all the trees. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
Well, you can regrow the trees.
That's true.
Yeah, but you know how long that fucking takes?
Takes forever.
Well,
like 60 years.
And we
That's
can't really replace. Can we replace it with paper? Is that everything? Everything?
Yeah,
plastic?
I mean, you could grow bamboo and make paper out of bamboo. That grows crazy.
Because think about it. Everything, like you buy chips, you buy, you know what I mean, like snacks, like they're all in plastic.
Everything's plastic.
Reese's is literally opening up plastic, and then there's more plastic, and then there's paper.
Right. Plastic bags, plastic bottles.
Well, I have a full answer.
Let's hear it.
For us not to create that kind of waste, it would be a dramatic change in standard of living.
Right.
And, I mean, society as it is now, I just don't think people were, at least in America, I can't speak for anywhere else. I don't think people are prepared for it.
What would we have to give up? Tons of stuff. Tons of stuff. People would have to start growing their own food. We'd have to get rid of. I think
Japan's got a good idea going on because they got a lot of vending machines where like you could just get like soups in cans, like man shit in cans.
Right.
Like it's not plastic; it's just all cans.
Well,
shit.
we're not talking about just plastic. We're talking about everything. The carbon emissions.
Everything.
I mean, plastic is just one piece of this equation.
We got to start with one thing. We can't just tackle everything at once.
Well, that's the question. The question is, how do you run the society we're in right now at this very second without using so much, without wasting so much? I don't think it's possible. If we have the exact same model.
You could bring back trolleys and have a decent passenger rail system. I mean, that was supposed to. They were talking about that in the 80s and 90s to combat climate change. I mean, all it did is get worse. And our cars are supposed to get smaller and more gas efficient, and they got bigger and they're gas guzzlers. I mean, there's nothing really, I mean, if you're asking me personally, there's nothing we can do because the public isn't on board to go along with it. I mean, if they had a trolley system like they did when my grandfather was growing up in this area, yeah, I would sell my car in a half a second
to get a trolley.
Yeah. Why would I want to drive to work when I could hop on a trolley, go across the bridge, hop on another trolley, and bring me right up to the hospital?
Well, then what about running errands? Just getting on and off the trolley now?
Walk up to Main Street.
What about when you want to
do that anyway on my days off?
What about when you want to pick up a prostitute? You can't. What are you gonna bring in the trolley?
I suppose my grandfather used to walk.
Oh, I didn't know what. I don't know where that was
to get
going.
A prostitute. No, not to get a prostitute. But my grandfather used to walk about 4 to 5 miles to go on a date with my grandmother.
Wow.
Well, listen, it's all about.
Used to walk over the bridge and then walk up to Rotterdam.
That's love. I thought me traveling to Brooklyn for 2 hours was love. That's love. That's a long distance relation.
Yeah.
5 miles. Oh my
Yeah.
God. You doing that, EJ? You don't even want to walk down the street.
Hell
You gonna be
no.
walking 5
It's
miles?
all about convenience now, man. People want to be everything
And
needs to be
that's what I'm
convenient.
saying. That's the perfect word for it. We will not have this convenience without this waste. That's the trade-off. If you want the convenience, the waste is going to be exponential. And there's no way.
And I feel like it's not America. Shit ain't convenient either.
That's right.
You got to be able to be
Well, why
free.
does it have to come down to a point of our national
God bless
identity?
America. That's what we do.
Because you said you don't know about other
We
countries.
waste
I can only speak about us. And I think as Americans, we're just too ingrained in being
We
able
consume more than any
go where we want,
other
wherever we
nation on earth.
That's
Each
what-
one of us.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. That's what
consumes like quadruple than what.
That's what makes us American.
But
Now-
the thing about it is, and maybe this tempers my doubt that it would be possible. Look at when they eliminated the bags in New York. People fussed about it, and now how often do we walk back to the car with a couple items in our hand with no bag?
Exactly. I have no problem with it.
I don't even think twice about it anymore.
You bring a bag with you. We bring our bags all the time.
Yeah, or
we still
bring your own bag.
get plastic bags out here.
Yeah, so that's just state to state though.
We're behind.
Everybody else still got their plastic bags. That should have been passed nationwide. Now, Rich, you got a little ding on your phone there. I'd like for you to take a look at it, and I'd like for you to read something because I think this law would affect you. I think you may have interest in this. This is talking about cutting down emissions, as we're talking about right now. So this is in the realm of what we're talking about. Why don't you read the headline and tell us what you think about this, Rich?
This sounds like a World Economic Forum initiative.
Dre sent me this
come
earlier.
on.
Dre sent me this literally hours before the show. Tell us what you think.
All right, it says a new law affecting New York City pizzerias goes into effect this April. The new pizza cooking rule, which is said to affect over 100 New York City businesses, takes effect April 27, 2024. New York City Mayor Eric Adams has done the unthinkable mess with New York City pizza. As reported by the New York Post, New York City recently approved a new rule that requires pizzerias and matzah bakeries that use old wood and coal fire stoves in their cooking process to knock down their smoky pollutants by 75%. The New York City Department of Environmental Protection first drafted this new rule back in June 2023. DEP spokesman Ted Timbers had said in a statement that wood and coal-fired stoves are among the largest contributors of harmful pollutants in neighborhoods with poor air quality, and New Yorkers deserve to breathe healthy air.
Okay, perfect. Stop right there. So let's just catch everybody up. So they're saying that the pizzerias with brick oven pizzas, right, have to cut down 75% of their emissions.
Uh-huh.
Right? That's what they're saying?
Yeah.
So what does that mean? So that means they have to find another way to cook their pizza, essentially? Because they can't cook as much?
Either that or they just make less.
So where was the ruling about all these people in those high positions making these decisions, cutting down on their private jet emissions? Because I didn't see anything about that.
That doesn't count.
Right? That's the first thing I thought of. Instead of cutting out the food emissions, which are appropriate, I would say, let's start a little higher. Let's start at the more insignificant things, which would be the flying jets, the personal jets. But of course, we're not going to hear about that. Of course, they're not going to do that. How absurd is that? You're taking away from the pizza-loving New Yorkers.
First of all, New Yorkers are gonna riot, bro. They need their pizza.
They're gonna get it, but it ain't gonna be from a brick oven. They're gonna get it from Domino's. Right from that electric, right from the Domino's. Right from the Domino's.
Gonna be dead at Domino's.
How do you feel about this, Dick?
I'm kind of torn on it. I'm surprised there are still coal-fired pizza joints
back in the Stone Age.
Yeah, that. But I guess if it's a family-owned business, it's been around for 100 or so years. I could see it, but I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, the point. If someone has gone in earnest and tested air quality from neighborhood to neighborhood, and that is what is polluting the air, then we, especially in a place like New York City, you got to live together.
I can't. I'm not.
However, on the other hand, I agree with looking at the top first before.
For hitting these small fish,
abridging something that brings a high amount of culture to New York City.
Culture,
what is more iconic than New York pizza? And
nutrition, by the way. This is food we're talking about here. This is not a jet. This is not a mode of transportation that does not need to be had. This is not something that's just basically useless to majority of people.
The next thing that's going to happen is they're going to come for the people that just throw barbecues. You can't use coal.
I'm sure. I'm sure they've already tried that.
We got to stop this now. Next thing you know, they're going to be taxing you for your air.
Just think about it. Just think about New York City, especially like Manhattan, is infested by millionaires and billionaires. I mean, if you really want to do something about air quality, then outlaw cars in Manhattan.
Can't do that. That's why they're doing that tax, I think, though. They're doing what is that called? Like the traffic tax? They're charging you to come in and out of the city, right?
No, that's a good idea.
They're doing some kind of tax like that. Like
you could have electric buses running, electric trolleys running.
Weren't they saying something about the electric?
You've got billionaires. You got billionaires out in California that are not occupying mobile home parks because they think it's quaint.
It's cool,
and they're jacking up the prices of mobile homes because billionaires buy them.
It's aesthetic.
So it's just as quaint to see a millionaire or a billionaire ass sitting on a bench in a New York City trolley.
You love the trolleys, huh?
Well.
Bring back the trolleys.
All this global warming stuff and all these things coming out of the Economic Forum are what things that people like us are going to have to do, while they still fly on their jets and eat meat and do, their life goes unabridged.
We're going to eat the Bill Gates meat, but they'll get the top of the line Wagyu.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna, I saw Italy ban that shit. I think it was Italy banned the Bill Gates meat. How we didn't do that as well, I don't know why.
What is Bill Gates meat?
It's like 3D printed meat, right? It's like
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 3D printed meat. Who would eat that? I don't even know.
What do you mean 3D? So that explains what is plastic in people. They're eating 3D printed food, bro.
I have no idea if there's even a soul out there on the planet that would look at that and go,
this? What do you mean?
the people making this aren't making it for themselves. This is not a thing where somebody's making this and going, "I'm making this because I want to see this." This is somebody making this so they can make a boatload of money and do whatever other nefarious acts they want to do, because this is not, no actual human being wants to eat this, not even the people making it. I don't think there's a soul out there that would eat 3D printed meat.
Bro,
Yeah.
Especially if it says it on the packaging. Like, how do they think this will make them money? What?
I think that
Because they're going to require it.
Oh,
It's not going to be a choice.
we getting out of here.
I mean,
I'm going to have a choice. So I'm going to go
all this stuff started sounding like conspiracy theories years ago, but apparently you can go on the World Economic Forum website and read the white papers on this stuff.
Right.
I mean, it's there. You can read about it. And Bill Gates, like, buying up all this farmland and creating this meat. It's like that third Damien movie back in the 70s or 80s, where the Omen, where he's trying to control the food supply of the world. The Antichrist. I mean, if this isn't like
that's
parallel,
crazy. That's crazy. Bill Gates is the Antichrist.
You're trying to control, centralize the food supply when in the environmental, catastrophe that we're headed to, apparently, we really should be diversifying and getting our food more and more. We should be investing in family farms and things like that.
Yeah.
And eating locally grown and locally raised protein.
That's what I'm talking about, Rich. But why not do that? Because there needs to be one entity making all the money. Is that why?
Well, because the corporations that have taken over agriculture are going to fight it tooth and nail.
Because they want all the bread.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something right now. I'm gonna go and shoot more deer. I'm gonna have to go with my friend and collect some deer meat.
So they make it illegal.
That's all I know.
Till they make that
at least
illegal.
That'll be real, right? That'll be real.
Did you guys see that people are starting to return the Apple goggles because they're reporting headaches and eye aches and bursting blood vessels in their eyes because they're walking around with these stupid, obnoxious eye freaking goggles? They look like they're conducting an orchestra in the street because they're waving their hands, because they're doing an email over here, and then they're like, they're texting somebody over here, and you're definitely, somebody's gonna fall into a manhole doing this. Somebody's gonna fall into a manhole.
People
Somebody's
are
gonna
walking
get hit
while they do this.
Yeah, they're like, you see it in like the commercials and people.
I didn't even hear about this.
Oh yeah, people are sending them back
Yeah,
because
I don't know about this.
like my eyes, I got burst blood vessels in my eyes, because they're probably wearing them all day, and they're just watching YouTube and doing this and that. I think that the Apple goggles are one of the most unnecessary things I've ever seen in my life. The only people that are buying these are probably people who are like workaholics and porn addicts. You know what I mean? Like, really? Like, how much more do we need? You literally have a freaking phone. Is this not enough? I'm doing 5 things on my phone at once. I'm talking to Stephanie on my phone. There goes Dick with the impromptu noises again. Second week in a row. Thank you.
What about your taxes?
I'm talking to Stephanie on the phone while buying something on Amazon, while listening to a YouTube video, while sending a text message. Is that not enough power for you people? You people are like freaking Thanos. You need the power in your freaking eyeballs.
They don't want to have to hold the phone. They just want to be able to,
Now you're retarded.
It's out of control. And you know what? The blood vessels, I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad for the headaches. I don't feel bad for the blood vessels. Take an Advil, return that shit, and let's get back to normal. Get back to real life. This is something I could see Dick liking because he got the watch. And the watch already, that annoyed me too.
No.
The watch was another one that I was like, you have a phone.
You got the watch?
He got the watch. And then one day, it was the other day, I called him, and all I hear is, I was like, what? I was like, what is that? And then he calls me on his phone. I was answering from my watch. I said, yeah, I could tell. Answer from your phone. like a normal human being.
You're not.
The fucking watch.
It's not good enough for you to think you're Batman now. You know what I mean? You can't just be like.
Well, I was downstairs and the phone was upstairs.
Put your
so
phone
that's why I picked
in
it up.
your pocket like everyone else. You go,
I forgot it. I forgot. I forgot.
Then that's it. You forget your pocket.
Forgot.
Then you forget it. This is
No,
we
and
need to
EJ
get back
EJ
to
just
life.
leaves the show.
Well, Cheryl was yelling at him, so I agree with that. He better get over there before she busts his ass.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, he better get over there. It's time to get back to reality. We're not in Star Wars. We're not going to start summoning fucking summoning what's that shit? Holographs of people. We're not going to summon holographs of our mothers in our living room and start watching movies on the wall. Enough. It's done. Let's get back. The phone is where it needs to end. After that, all the other shit needs to go. We're not gonna walk around. The only people. This is it. This is it right here. The Apple tags too. The Apple tags need to go. People are shoving them up each other's asses and tracking each other in the middle of the night so they can freaking harass each other. It's people are stalking people with these things. The only people that should be getting Apple Watches are people that go hiking. They go up there so in case they get eaten by a fucking mountain lion or something like that, if their family knows where they are. That's it. You need that. That's the only people that I think should get an Apple Watch are the people going hiking and all this shit, because that like saves their lives sometimes. You know, you ever hear the story? Oh, if I didn't have my Apple Watch, the helicopter would have never known where to get me, and it ended up calling my grandmother when I was on the mountain. Those are the only people that I think should probably have them. What? You're working in a fucking office. What do you need another device on? Are you a cyborg? What are you? Are you Jeff Bezos?
Okay,
what do you need?
We
watch.
We already have the microplastics. All right, we are gonna be androids soon enough.
Oh yeah. Then we got the Neuralink coming out. Elon's gonna put the fucking Neuralink in our asses. It's getting out of control. It's getting out of control. This needs to end. But it won't.
I thought that I would use the health features on the watch, and I started, and it did help me walk farther, but now I don't even look at it.
This is how they get you people. These people are sick that are marketing this to you. They make you think you need to. Oh, you want to count your steps, right? It's not that you could just put your phone in your pocket and it'll tell you your steps like we've been.
It's not like there's an app for that on your phone somewhere.
You want to know that if you're going to go into cardiac arrest like 2 minutes before it happens, right? Like you're going to be able to do something about it. You want to see that your heart rate is elevated slightly by 2%. Do you want to do a sleep study on yourself? Wear your Apple Watch. You kids know how many times you turn. Who gives a fuck?
Well, that I do use to sleep. I do use it.
For what?
Who sleeps with a watch on?
For what?
Are there the points you take your watch off?
Because I wanted to see how much I was actually sleeping. Because I have the CPAP, because without it, or if I take it off my face, my eyes may be closed, but I'm not actually getting sleep because I keep waking myself up with the snoring.
You people
I think you're better off just using a camera to figure out if you woke up or not.
You people are insane. It needs to end, and it needs to end right now. But the sad part is it won't.
Guess how many times I woke up during my sleep study?
3.
Over 200.
Holy crap! What are you having, nightmares?
No, it's because I have the sleep apnea.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. What are you gonna do about that?
So I do like to check my sleep once in a while with a watch.
Right. That's good for you.
And there is a difference between, if I knock the mask off and if I sleep with it through the whole night.
Right. So that is the justifiable reason you need an Apple Watch.
All right, so there's one good thing about this watch.
Right. So it has dramatically changed your life for the better.
It has not dramatically changed my life, and if I have to be completely honest about the Apple Watch, that it really it's non-consequential. It was a Christmas gift. I really thank my parents for buying it for me. I wanted it, but now that I have it, I could have gotten something else.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask, because I know that you make a
The grass is
commercial.
always green.
You make a commercial for yourself in your head when you think of a new game. You go, I'm gonna do this. You picture yourself doing a nice brisk walk and going, I walked 600 miles today. I'm really good. In your mind, what was the commercial you made? Like, what was all the benefits what did you see yourself with this watch?
Well, I mean, my commercial wasn't that great. I just wanted part of me wanted it because so many of my coworkers have one.
Oh, so it was that game.
And then like I do like there we go. I do like these circles,
What?
If they're not quite closed, I might do a few extra steps.
What?
It's the circles you gauge the amount of physical activity you do.
Huh. Fascinating. Yeah. Wow.
Don't let it watch control your life.
This is riveting. This is riveting stuff.
And that's why I picked that face, because I watched the circles.
The iPad I could see, or like a mini laptop. You go, okay, I need to get some work done. I take out the iPad. It's slim. I could watch a movie. I could write an email, and I don't have my phone if I'm on a plane. But after a certain point, just like I said with the AI, it becomes absolutely pointless.
Yeah,
absolutely useless.
I mean, the watch isn't. It's not really. It's not that functional. It really.
God, these people are marketing geniuses, man. These people really are.
They are.
It is so absurd. I was listening to a podcast that was saying, I think it's I don't think it may be Gen Z or the one. What is it? Gen X is after Gen Z?
No,
Gen Alpha.
It's Gen X, then Millennials, then Gen Z,
and then it's Gen Alpha's after Gen X. That's the one, right?
Oh, is that what they're calling?
I think they call it Gen Alpha. So I was listening to a podcast. They were saying, I think
nobody calls it that, bro.
They're the alphas. They're going to be the alphas for sure. When you hear what I'm about to say, is that I think that a lot of these people are kind of regaling against all this technology, and they want to go back to corded phones because they like the way it feels to twirl the cord in their hand. They're kind of going against the smartphone. They want to go dumb the phone down, and I'm with this. I agree with this because at a certain point it becomes too much. At a certain point, it becomes too great. So I think that
phones is too far.
A corded phone.
I mean, cord phones too far.
No. I think that there's hope in the world. There's hope in the future.
Let's just go back to pay phones.
They're gonna be looking at us instead. How we used to look at like the old generation, like, oh, you don't have a phone. Like, what are you, crazy? They're gonna look at us like, oh, you have a phone. We're sending shit through pigeon right now. Like, I don't want anybody to get a hold of me. Like, I sent a letter to my best friend the other day. I didn't hear back for 7 days. I don't care. Text. Like, I don't want anybody to have that much access to me. Which is a whole nother thing, is how much think about how much access somebody has to you now, Richard, as opposed to when you were in your 20s. Now, hey, you got 5 minutes to do this. Hey, I gotta ask you this, and what do you think about this? It's just constant bang, bang, bing, 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 bing. My shit is always on do not disturb.
The phone makes you way too productive.
And now people know.
When I was pastoring St. James, somebody would call and say, I need this and this document. I get on my phone, go to the OneDrive, download it to the phone, email it to the people. Why am I doing that in the middle of my day when I'm doing another job? Because I can.
Right.
Because it's convenient.
I mean, if it's your main
even
job,
using technology as it is now, they could have sent me an email and waited until I got home.
Right.
But
no, it's that access. They got that access to you. It is officially Women's Awareness Month, Women's History Month, right?
Women's Awareness Month.
We need to be aware of women. We need to be aware that they're around. It's Women's History Month. Pastor, who is your favorite woman in history? Not counting anybody that is related to you by blood. Do you have a favorite? Do you have a favorite woman in history that you love so much? I think it's. Who's your favorite band? Who's it? Cyndi Lauper?
No, Blondie.
Blondie. Is that your favorite woman?
If I was going to pick my favorite woman in history,
who's your favorite woman?
I'm
dying to know.
As soon as you asked, her name went right out of my head.
Is she really
Yeah.
a favorite? I'm
Yeah,
gonna say
she
right
is.
in
And
you.
I'll tell you why. Hold on, I'll get her name.
EJ, you bet. Do you have a favorite?
Shirley
woman?
Chisholm.
Shirley Chisholm. Have no a clue who that woman is.
It's just right here.
Please enlighten us on who that is.
Right there.
Wow, that's a nice.
She
lady.
was she was a congresswoman from, I think she was from New York City, and she's the first African American woman to run for president. And she was in the civil, the civil rights fight within the halls of Congress.
Mhm.
And the reason why I look to her as an example, listen to some of her speeches on YouTube, that kind of thing, is that when I was in second grade, there was this box set of little books. And so if we were on our best behavior, the teacher would allow us to go to that particular box and choose a book. And I chose this book about Shirley Chisholm. And so I've known who she was since I was in second grade.
Wow.
And so she was, a prominent black figure. And
I think you liked it.
huh?
I think you had a crush on her.
I may have. I mean, look at it. Stylish, brilliant.
Styling and profiling. Wow. What an answer. That's a historical answer. That answer got some depth.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, EJ, does yours have such depth?
Oh, it's as shallow as a puddle because I don't know about that. So
Wow.
my pool of options is very limited.
You
What
don't
about
have-
Betsy Ross?
Who is she? That's the woman that makes cakes. That she has like. That's like the woman. No. That's what are you laughing? That's the one that has like when you want to make a pie, you go get a Betsy Ross pie.
I think that's Betty Crocker.
No, it's Dolly Madison.
Oh.
Dolly Madison. That's the singer.
Who's the chick that made the American flag? That's my pick.
Betsy Ross.
Yeah, that's my pick.
Wait. That's the person that makes the cakes and stuff.
Betsy Ross is she sewed the flag.
She sewed the American flag, bro.
But then, is that why they put her on like the boxes though?
I don't.
When you
what
go to the
boxes is she
store,
on?
when you go to the store and you want to get a cake, they always have the Betsy Ross cakes and the
That's
Betsy.
not. Are you reading these boxes?
You know what I'm talking about. Everybody's acting dumb. You trying to make me look dumb on my own show?
No,
and I
there's
don't
Dolly
like-
Madison cakes. Now
What
she
the-
was
who
the
is
first
that?
lady.
That's the. I don't even know who that is, bro. That's Dolly Parton. We're talking
Dolly
about,
Madison.
bro. If you go to the supermarket right now and you want a red velvet cake, a devil's food cake, a carrot cake, they always have the box with Betsy Ross on it.
How do you know that's her? Are
Bro,
you sure?
Are you guys serious?
Yes, I'm dead.
Anytime when I wanted to make gingerbread cookies, you get the Betsy Ross gingerbread cookies. You guys are bugging, bro. You guys are bugging. Are you serious?
No,
You trying to make me look like a fool right now.
We're in the majority, so I
You
don't
got
know
me
if
running
we're
around
wrong.
looking like Boo Boo the Fool.
We
No,
can't vote.
I think you got the name wrong because I just put in Betsy Ross cakes, and what came up were people's cakes that they made at home.
Okay, look up
Wow.
just look up right now on Target.com or something, Devil's Food Cake, and see what comes up. You'll see the name. It's ubiquitous, bro. The fact that you guys don't know who I'm talking about is insane.
If it's all right,
Are you talking about Little Debbie?
You're gonna see the first ever suicide on a podcast. It's
You know what?
Betsy Ross.
All right, hold on.
Look up any freaking cake. Everybody uses it.
Listen,
Literally everybody uses it, dude.
If this is not true, will you do this on the podcast?
Will I kill
For the
myself on the show?
content?
Are you talking about Betty Crocker?
That's what I said
That's
before.
her name?
Yes,
That's who I meant.
I literally said that before.
That is great.
Well, it's time.
Her name
Ladies and gentlemen,
Oh yeah.
this is the last episode of Gritty Knows Best because he did not know best.
Now you know you're retarded.
Yes, yes.
Oh, that was great.
That's who I meant. That's the one.
My man is fighting tooth and nail about that one.
Betty Crocker.
Like, bro, she sewed the flag. She did not make cakes, bro. Maybe on a spare time.
I thought maybe that was her to transition. That was her next. That was her next hill in life. That was her next. I thought she was synonymous with cakes. Well, now we know who I'm talking about.
I've been to who you was talking about.
Now we know who I'm talking about.
Well,
now you know who you were talking about.
now there is Dolly Madison. That's what I thought you were referring to.
Who is that?
I didn't even know about that one.
What are you talking about?
Well, that was the name of Dolly Madison. Was responsible for like saving a lot of the art from the White House. I think during the War of 1812 when they burned the White House.
Never heard of that.
She was the first lady, but Dolly Madison Bakery makes like those store cakes, like the bakery that Hostess. They're kind of like Hostess, and they used to advertise Dolly Madison when they used to show the Peanuts specials.
Oh,
Like the
great.
the Halloween, the Thanksgiving, the Christmas.
Because that's what kids want to see.
Well, they would advertise the Dolly Madison baked goods.
Wow. Well, glad we got to the bottom of
Betty
that.
Crockett also make like fruit snacks and stuff.
Betty Crocker?
Who?
But isn't it like Betty Crockett makes like there's like a Betty Crockett?
Doesn't she make
fruit
gushers and
snacks?
stuff like that? Oh, she makes fruit snacks, right?
I think it's fruit snacks.
Yeah, she makes.
I swear to God, the
that's what I was
gushers I
saying,
ordered
bro.
say Betty Crockett gushers, don't they?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like, how y'all don't know what I'm talking about? It's literally everywhere. Y'all were looking like y'all didn't even know. Y'all were saying whole different names.
No. I'm asking you if this is true or not.
I have never heard of no Dolly Parton cake. None of that shit. I only know Betty Crocker cakes. That's it. I don't even know who. My man said Little Debbie. She don't make no damn devil. She makes cosmic brownies. The hell?
Little Debbie stuff is so good. I wish I could just eat it.
I don't
but,
think it's the same anymore though. It's not. I think by the time. When's the last time you had something like that?
It's been years.
They always because now they change the ingredients to everything. They're always because I remember my friend said that she used to love Honey Smacks, the cereal, and all of a sudden they changed the ingredient to it, and now it sucks. But like the Aldi's one tastes like the old one, like they kept the ingredient or whatever. So it may not even be the same Little Debbie because they're always tweaking things to make it less expensive for them, and then they raise the price for us. They're always doing something like that. So EJ, you don't have a favorite woman in history that you're not related to?
Yeah. The flag.
Oh,
Flag
Betsy.
lady.
Oh, Betsy. That's your favorite.
I'm gonna have to say so. It's the only one I.
Not your favorite VTuber. I'm surprised you didn't say that.
Well, I mean, we've already covered this earlier. I mean, who even knows if they're women?
That's true. That's true. You don't know that. I didn't even think about that. Could have a voice changer or all kind of stuff. I don't even know, man. There's so many women to pick from history.
Behind the VTuber, who knows?
Somebody's microphone is. I'm like bouncing off of somebody. Is that you, EJ? You got me leaning on something?
Probably.
You got like
My
the mic
TV.
leaning on something? Yeah, make sure that mic is not. Make sure that mic is not obscured or anything like that. There's many women in history. Many women who have done.
What's that?
I still hear you hear me bouncing off, Pastor? Pause.
Yeah.
Who's that off? That got to be him, right?
It's gotta be me because I don't hear you.
It's got to be you. Let me see.
Yeah, because he's the only one that doesn't have headphones on.
Get over it.
We're gonna have to suffer for now.
I need to get a case of cell phone stands.
A case of them? What are you gonna start a Chinese freaking VTuber factory?
No, because I bought one for one of our bishops that was holding his phone during meetings, which was annoying as heck. And then one of the women that joins our Bible study was holding her phone, so I bought her one. Now I got to buy him one.
Well, I don't even know if it's a stand because he picked it up and it was still making noise. Who even knows?
That's
with
true.
him? You know what? He has an Android, so you got to expect all kind of chaos.
Oh, here we go. Here
His
we
phone
go.
is
You
like-
shitting on Apple
his phone
for
is like-
so long.
No, I
So
wasn't
now-
shitting on. I was shitting on Apple as a company. I was shitting on one of their products. Two of their products.
Now
The
the
phones are
Android
great. Well, that's what happens when you pay $50 for a phone instead of $500. You know what I mean? You got to invest. You got to invest.
So-
You got to take a little bit from the weed fund and throw it into a nice phone. You know what I mean?
It sounds like getting headphones would just do the same thing.
Maybe, I don't know what you. Those things might explode.
Yeah, headphones would help.
Who knows what Android? They might explode right in your ears.
Just go back down to Boost Mobile, get the headphones.
Well, they're still better than AT&T, man. I'll tell
There
you
are
that.
many good candidates, great candidates. Joan of Arc, women in history who would get my pick. I mean, Selena Gomez, obviously that's top of the line right there. Big in the running.
Beyonce.
No, definitely not. I don't even think I like one Beyonce song. That's Dre. Dre got the Beyonce cutout in his house. He's a big fan. He's a huge fan.
You lying.
No, ask him. Look at the Christmas show. He got the cutout. Got the cutout for Christmas from, I think Justin gave him that.
Merry Christmas with Beyonce.
I can't really. I'm not saying this is a concrete opinion. I wrestled with this thought all day, and I couldn't really think of one. But then it came to me, and I said, you know who my favorite woman in history has to be? It has to be Catwoman from Batman. It has to be. I mean,
From Batman?
yeah, Catwoman. Selena Kyle. She, especially from the Batman Arkham game, she's really hot and she never ages. She never gets old. You always look at Cat. You never see Catwoman old.
I mean, if that's the case, why not Harley Quinn?
Well, what about the Catwoman from the TV series in the set in the 60s?
No, where they go
Joe-
boom, kaboom, and all that stuff?
Yeah.
I don't know. No, I don't like that. I don't think I like that one. Well, another beautiful story for what is this now?
That's Eartha Kitt.
That's wonderful. Another beautiful story for. I'm gonna edit like half of that out, or I don't even know. Another wonderful, heartwarming story for Mother's Awareness Month, and that is a mother in Las Vegas was arrested because her 9-year-old son called the cops to give them a big, nice, healthy bag of meth that his mama had in the drawer of the house. It was actually
A bag of what?
meth. So
DJ, you have to mute when you're not talking.
yeah, you got to mute yourself now. Now you got to mute yourself. Because it sounds like you're in like you're in the middle of an electric storm right now.
Yeah, it sounds like someone's in the electric chair right now.
Oh boy. Yeah, so it was actually a very depressing video because you see in the video the kid come out, he's like hysterical crying, and the cop's like, what's wrong? And he's like, look at this bag, blah 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 blah. And he's like, do you know what this is? The kid's like, yeah, like I know what that is. That's drugs. He didn't know it was meth, but he knew it was drugs. He was hysterical crying, sobbing everywhere, and the police went to the mom, and obviously, she pulled the, what the heck is that? I don't even, where the hell? A squirrel must have drugged that in. What? And then she looked at the kid like, did one of your little friends give that to you from school? And he's in the corner with the cop like, oh my God, like my mom's a fucking meth head. This is insane. And the cop basically said to his buddy, he was like, this is top 5 biggest meth busts I've ever had in my career right now. It was like meth for hundreds of people, they said.
Oh my God.
It was
really?
an insane amount of meth. And from what I read, the woman is not in jail. The kid's with his father, though, because what he did was he got on the iPad, called his father, and stayed in the bathroom for an hour crying about it and telling his father, like, yo, like, mom got meth. Obviously, the parents are not together, I'm assuming. So that's when the police came and everything. So the father ended up taking the kid, but then the mother just got probation, okay? Violated probation, and now they're sending her to rehab. So absolutely basically no repercussions for this person at all.
How is she not arrested?
She got arrested. She posted bail. They gave her
Well,
probation.
convicted.
You tell me. Because that was enough meth for distribution, no?
Yeah.
This is what I think. This is what I think. I think,
And just personal use.
yeah, that for hundreds of people, like, So this was I think the real person that really got boned on this was the obvious guy that was dropping this meth bag off at this woman's house, because I'm sure she got a boyfriend giving her this meth, you know? So I'm sure that he was thrilled to know that his little son-in-law, that his new son snitched out mom, and now 120 freaking grams of meth is gone. That's my theory in this. I think that this was a stash house for the mom's new boyfriend. You know, she's divorced. She's probably running with some freaking criminals. They're probably thinking nobody's gonna go to this woman's house. You know, she's like just a regular old mom. And lo and behold, little Jimmy came out wiggling that bag of meth, and that was it. So I think that the real victim in this crime is a drug dealer that this mom is obviously getting banged by.
How old is the kid?
It's like 9. Very horrible story. I can't believe that she's not in jail for like some kind of time for this. I watched the new Imaginary movie, the horror movie that I talked about last week, where I said that they gave away like literally everything in the trailer. And I still stand by that to a certain extent. There was a good amount that was actually a surprise, that I will say was a pleasant surprise to a certain extent. So I'm gonna say that this will be a light spoiler review. I'm not gonna get crazy, but I mean, if you watch the trailer, that's all the spoilers are in there, basically, pretty much. Okay, so basically, little girl moves into the house with her stepmom, her sister, and her father. And she finds this teddy bear. And she's, oh, this is my new imaginary friend. And this was actually the teddy bear of the mother. She used to live in the house and they moved back in. So she said, oh, I used to use that. That was my little buddy when I was a child. And the little girl was like, oh, this is awesome. This is great. You know, so she's walking around with it. She's drinking tea with it, blah, blah, blah. And of course, it starts doing creepy things. People start getting creeped out. Oh, this thing's moving around. And oh my God, everything's getting crazy now. Typical stuff. She has an imaginary friend. It kind of reminded me of Z, the movie Z, if anybody's seen that. You know, I thought they gave away a lot in the trailer. So as I was watching, I was like, okay, I know what's going to happen here. I know what's going to happen here. And as the movie progressed, like literally nobody died, which was insane. Like, I don't even think anybody died in this movie. Spoiler alert. They get to a certain part, which they showed in the trailer, so I ain't blowing nothing up, where this kid was getting terrorized by the bear, and I thought it was cute. It was nice. Jasmine jumped from 40 feet away, which I thought was insane. She's like literally at the other end of the room, and I'm like, how did you even see that from that far? That made you jump? That's insane. Like, I don't even get it. So there was like maybe one actually creepy aspect to the movie, which was the Bears theme song that would play sometimes. And it was nice. But the movie took a nice, pleasant surprise. There was a little turn, which I will not really get into and specify. But if you've seen this, and when you will see it, it's when the daughter finally goes to a therapist. There's a scene there that everybody in the house went, oh, that's nice. That was something that wasn't in the trailer. We weren't expecting it, and we went, all right, you know what? We'll give it to them on this one. This one was good. Then the movie continues. Nothing crazy happens, and then I don't even want to really spoil what happens next, because it's probably the biggest, kind of one of the biggest plot twists of the movie. But I think this part of the movie was actually entertaining. The latter half of the movie was actually the most entertaining part of the movie. There was a good scene in there with the old lady. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. There's a nice her final goodbye, pretty much. So I think there's some death in the movie, actually. Spoiler alert on that one. At the end, it's pretty good, but basically, as I said with Night Swim, this is a glorified sci-fi TV movie. This did not need to go to theaters. You should not have paid for this. You should have waited till 7:00 p.m. on the Sci-Fi Channel and watched it for free.
First of all, didn't Sci-Fi make Jason 2.0? That was good.
Jason 2.0.
Whatever it was called, Jason H2O or something like that.
I don't know what you're talking about. Halloween H2O?
It was a Jason movie where he was in space.
Jason X?
Is that what it was? That wasn't
Yeah,
that
that's
sci-fi?
not-
Yeah, there
No.
was an H2O.
No,
too, I
not a
think.
sci-fi movie. A movie on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, wasn't that on sci-fi? Wasn't
Yeah,
that
maybe
a-
like 3 years after it came out. It was in the theaters though.
Oh, okay. It wasn't like
It wasn't a sci-fi original.
soup or
No.
anything like that.
This
but you
is
said-
Just one
basically-
clarification.
Yeah.
I thought you said spoiler alert before you gave the information.
Well, I said it again because I think I gave away a big spoiler just now about the old lady. So that was a
That should
pretty
be fine. You already warned them.
that was a pretty big spoiler. I pretty much just told you she died. Okay, but the way she
Okay.
died was fun. It was. I'm not gonna tell you how she died. So there's like basically like one body in the movie. So I mean, the redeeming qualities of this movie were the latter half of the movie where they get into some mess, they get into some silliness and some wackiness and shenanigans that everybody was like, oh, this is actually a nice little 180, a nice little turn. But pretty much it was a TV movie. It really did not need to go to theaters. I mean, this was leaps and bounds above Night Swim, though. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, was it?
Oh my God, that was. Pastor, you run a show, which is technically 2 shows now. Why don't you tell us about it? Give us the plugs, and we're gonna go home.
No Name Yet podcast on YouTube, Rumble, Twitter, Apple, and Spotify. And the No Name Yet podcast also produces Iron Sharpens Iron. And we just dropped the first half of The Road to the Cross. And that was an episode without EJ.
Not because Pastor didn't want him there.
My colleague, the Reverend Derek Jager. Did I say that EJ didn't make it?
No show.
So
No showed.
yeah, so it's Road to the Cross, part 1. It's up there, and if I forgot to tell you, it's Reverend Derek Jager, and EJ didn't make it.
On the cross, on the cross. That was a good song we used to sing in church.
Yeah, that's a good
I
song.
like that song.
But the second part, if
Let me ask you a
EJ
question. Why,
does
when
show
you
up,
quick question,
we will drop the second half.
quick question. When you start the show Bible versus Bible now, it opens like a sitcom. Like you guys are doing that thing where they'll kind of be doing something for a second, and then their name, and then they'll go, and then they'll look at the camera and do what is that like? Are you taking inspiration from TV shows of your past, like Happy Days and things like that?
In a way, I thought it. I was trying to be funny. I mean, the whole appeal to your pastor, Joel Osteen, is he starts with something funny.
Yeah, that is true. He starts with a joke.
I tried to start with something
Jesus
funny.
was
Then,
walking through the desert and he saw a man selling snow cones. He always comes with a joke.
and then EJ turns around and I've got the Bible in my hand, and EJ turns around and he's got nothing
Got
in
his dick
his
in his
hand.
hand. Beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful opening. I do appreciate it. I just immediately thought of like, oh, this is. I feel like I'm watching Happy Days or something like that.
Yeah, it's really
very,
corny.
Very formulaic opening, but
Yeah.
they don't do that anymore. Every opening is cool, and it's somebody punching somebody in the head or flashing a gun. What happened to the old? Look at the camera. Oh, you're washing your window for a second. You look at the camera. Hey, you got to bring it back.
Yeah. And if you don't mind affording me just a few more seconds,
You can take a few
maybe
minutes.
Brother EJ would like to let everybody know why he didn't make
Yeah, why
the
were you not
recording
there?
of part 1.
Well, I was asleep. And now apparently my phone is having issues. So,
Tell
hopefully
them how soon before the show you fell asleep.
it was really sad because it was like, I want to say like 10 minutes, 20 minutes at the most.
Yeah.
It was like 20 minutes. It was like,
Because we spoke an hour
it was
before
like
the show.
11:40 and I fell asleep.
The guy fell asleep mere moments before the show.
And then I woke up at 4 and I was like, oh shit.
Oh shit!
It's over.
Oh damn!
They ain't
Dude.
still waiting for me now. If it was like 1 o'clock, maybe I could still slide in there. But 4 o'clock, it was over.
Right. How did that make you feel, Dick?
Well, I think I had more fun giving EJ a hard time than not showing up.
Right.
But I am looking forward to recording the second half with him because I know that he's got some great questions. So
That's right. He's a very studious guy with the Bible. A lot of questions, a lot of theories, a lot of maybe even some answers on his own. Who even knows? But you got to
Iron
listen to the
Sharpens
show.
Iron is a show that focuses on discussing scripture, and there is a scripture that talks about iron sharpening iron, and so we come together to discuss scripture, to have our perspective challenged, to understand the word better.
Beautiful. Nice, clean, wholesome fun.
Yes.
Unlike this show. So if you want a little change up, you go there. If you want the antithesis to this show, go listen to. But the Bible be getting crazy. People be getting raped. People be getting stoned. I mean, really, actually, it might be a little crazier. When the dude was like, "Hey, how about if you get out of my house right now, you could take my daughter." I was like, "What? What the hell was that?" I never heard no shit like that before. That was a wild story. Or the one where the kids get eaten by a bunch of wolves because they picked on the guy because he had a bald head. That was crazy.
A bear.
Oh, okay, even worse. A bear.
Yeah, if he sicked a bear on him,
He was like, he said, hey, Baldy. He said, okay, I got you right now.
Yeah.
Stay right there. Say less. Rip the cat. I mean, but wouldn't that be the opposite of turning the other cheek?
Pretty much, yeah.
What was the point of that story? Why would they?
I don't know. I'd have to go back in and really look at it closely.
Was he supposed to be a good guy in that moment or a bad guy?
Well, he's a prophet.
And he was doing that?
So that automatically makes him good?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to. I don't know the story well enough. I just know that it happened.
Yeah.
And I have to look at it in context and see if there's any cultural innuendo in it.
Say that again, EJ.
I said that'll be the first episode you go on.
Maybe
for that
I'll have to
podcast.
go on for that one. I'll have to be on to hear that story.
I mean, you know about it more than me. I mean, damn, I don't even know what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah, that's a little anecdote from the Bible.
Yeah, that was Elisha.
I'm a fan of Saul. You got to get me on when we start talking about Saul's early days. I like that story.
Saul who became Paul or King Saul?
No, yeah, Saul became Paul when they throw him off the horse and he's killing people. My man Saul was a murderer. He used to go into villages and they used to run out of there. Saul's coming to get you. He was like a horror movie character. The villagers, Saul's coming. They get the fuck out of there. Saul was badass, bro. You don't want to mess with him. Don't want to mess with Saul, but then he became a good guy. That's what you gotta like about the Bible. Anybody can become
smacked him down.
Right off the horse, blinded him, and all that stuff.
Yep, knocked him right off the horse.
EJ, do you have anything you would like to say?
No.
Very nice.
Now you know you're retarded.
You can listen to the show where you are right now, and if you're on YouTube, you can obviously bring us along on Spotify and Apple and all those other beautiful apps. And if you're on those beautiful apps and you want to see our faces, maybe you've never even seen us before, maybe you didn't even know we're on YouTube. We're on YouTube, and you can see the Valentine's Day special, even though it's blurred out. You can see EJ moving the phone around like he has Parkinson's. There's a lot of beautiful sights to see. A lot of beautiful sights to see. You can see it there. Peace and love.
Like, comment, subscribe.
See you next time.